JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is pretty different between sub and dub, but it's usually the latter that gets major criticisms. While both have their qualities, ultimately the dub is usually harder for some fans to invest in. For parts 1 and 2, there are the exaggerated accents, and for later parts, either people don't like the voice for a particular character or can't handle the censored stand names. Personally, I've been loving the dubs for JoJo. Sure does have its ups and downs, but I do see some charm. With the right direction, an actor can really sell their best, especially with such cases as Billy Kametz as Josuke in Diamond is Unbreakable. I think the dubs deserve a bit more respect from the general community, so I decided to make this short video. With that, let's talk JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Let's go again!
As you would imagine, the JoJo's dubbing alterations may occasionally stumble upon difficulty towards translating the same feeling the Japanese sub has. This is why certain phrases are considered butchered, but it's all a matter of syncing lip flaps. I'd much rather have their lines complement the animation than to be left empty and disfigured like phrases from Dragon Ball FighterZ.
This day marks the beginning of a new chapter of the universe. The name of the one who authored that chapter is Zamasu, the bringer of eternal order.
The English voice actors are talented at crafting their deliveries, and I have seen much improvement overall. But as I will express later, it is all a matter of perspective and familiarity. While the Japanese sub is iconic and has their own mix of sounds, JoJo's dub has some quality of life too. Hell, Golden Wind's English cast has also started improving a ton. I'm really starting to like Kyle McCarley's Narancia voice, and seeing Chiplock and Ray Chase are doing excellent as Mista and Bucciarati respectively.
Nice.
Despite all the recent praise JoJo's dubbing has been getting, Season 1's Phantom Blood and Battle Tendency are the least favorite dubs of the bunch. But recently, I watched moments from Season 1's dub and found they were not too bad on a second or third viewing. After all, they are not a fair representation of the quality and work the dub has developed over time. Not only that, but you can argue the goofiness works with the theming of Phantom Blood and Battle Tendency. It really is a product of its own, even through the Japanese sub. Furthermore, we have to consider JoJo's first dubbing season had a different director who enabled the accents, despite them causing restrictions on acting, which is why later parts stripped away accents. But isn't it ironic how earlier parts were criticized for having their accents, yet once the Golden Wind dub preview came out, there were some who wanted them to have Italian accents, but I digress. I do think the Italian phrasing is a nice compromise and creates a unique script for the dub. But when it comes to phrases and criticism, look no further than stand names and stand cries. Okay, before I make my point, can you really blame them for the localized stand names? In a world where even visuals or audio qualified for fair use is copyrighted, there are way too many references in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure to realistically accommodate for such regulations. Sure, some localized stands will hurt, like Green Tea, best name ever, let me just say. But it's also due to Bandai regulating these names through JoJo's initial localization. In this regard, it's less of a risk, and kind of a necessary one. In general, English dubs are always compared to the original Japanese sub. But the problem is most fans have standards that relate to the mere exposure effect, in which states, people develop preferences for things because they are familiar. If the theory can apply to music, it's not out of the question for various media such as language and its pronunciation. It's a topic for more dubs than just JoJo, but I bring it up now specifically because JoJo has a wide collection of stand cries, catchphrases, and vocal patterns that the ears grow accustomed to. As I mentioned before, it's a difficulty that is bound to cultural differences. This would be the same topic if it was a Spanish-dominant show being repurposed to work for English speakers. We should be appreciating the work the dub actors put to making these stand rushes and stand cries feel naturally charismatic in English as well. We should also appreciate these new takes on characters, rather than just judge them for not being the exact same. I would argue Vic Mignogna's Rohan perfectly encapsulates this. His personification of the character is not what we would have expected, but it's a welcomed experience nonetheless. The actors make the best of the localized names and give some surprising performances most of the time. Nothing's going to be perfect, but JoJo's Bizarre Adventure dubs are not that bad. In any case, it's important to enjoy JoJo the way you enjoy it, and not to criticize people over opinions. But that's just my take. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this one. I apologize for taking quite a while to create another scripted video like this, but I've just been enjoying my downtime, especially with Kingdom Hearts 3's Remind DLC. Anyways, the next couple of scripts are taking quite a while. If you like to see what I'm working on, you can always go ahead and follow me on Instagram where I post most of my updates. That's about all I got for y'all. I'll see y'all in the next video. Take care.